Wilma?
Oh, yes.
Great. Do you want to get started?
Yes, we can get started.
Okay. Do you want to
All
say?
right. This is the Street Fair Committee meeting. I am one of the co-chairs, Lorraine Johnson, and Barbara Chalky is not with us any longer. She passed away. And we have another co-chair. There's just no way to replace Barbara. She's a wonderful person, and we really miss her. So we have a new co-chair, and I would like to introduce her. Go ahead, Barbara.
I just want to say I'm honored to be asked to be the co-chair with Wilma. But Barbara became, again, a close friend of mine. And she was just this amazing person that really only thought of the good for people and the good for the community. And she will be sorely missed. And I did listen to a video that she had done for CB8 Speaks, I guess a few days ago. Her wealth of knowledge, her institutional knowledge of the community, her caring about it. I may be Wilma's co-chair, but I'm not filling Barbara's shoes. And we will all miss her. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Barbara. Do we have a representative from YCS?
Confirm unmuting, Dari.
I'm unmuted now. Thank you.
Okay. Are you the representative from YCS?
I am. My name is Dari Rosalina.
Okay. We would like to know something about your event, please.
Of course. First, I'd like to extend my condolences over Barbara and her loss. This is our 12th annual YCS PTA sponsored Fall Festival. It is a community-based event. It's hosted for our students as well as all of our neighbors. And we have our permit in place. We have games, arts and crafts activities, different inflatables, and it's really just 4 hours of fun for our students and our community to have a great time and welcome in Halloween.
I would like to know if there are any questions from the audience that would like to ask for YCS. Anybody out there that would like to ask any questions? No?
We have Michelle.
Okay.
You can confirm.
Michelle, go ahead,
Michelle.
please.
Yes, welcome, Dari. This is an event
Thank you.
that every year. I'm very familiar with it. My grandchildren went to that school, and I attended it every year. It's usually very well attended, and it's very well thought out. I'll just reiterate a few of the things that are of concern of the committee, just to verify that things will be handled in the same way as they have in the past. You used to have cooking in the form of a barbecue, and you had, you're not doing that. I see you shaking your head. So you're not. So tell us a little bit about the food services and also whether or not you're going to have inflatables. And of course, that the public is welcome. Everybody can come in and buy tickets to the rides and that kind of thing. But tell us a little about the food, because that obviously has changed.
Considerably. Yes, in the past there has been that undertaking, but due to the last year and a half and specific COVID restrictions as well as safety, we have a scaffolding around the school. So for a number of considerable reasons, we are not entertaining the grill whatsoever, and there will not be any of that activity. As for food, we're considering a bake sale at the moment, but we are also doing that on election day, so we're juggling both. We are just still working on it. We've only started planning 2 weeks ago, so it's really still in the works. But whatever we do on a food level will be minimal, and it would really just be water and bake sale goods for the kids. In terms of inflatables, does that satisfy that question?
Yeah, well, I had a follow-up, but go ahead.
Okay.
You finish your thought.
Okay, we are
I have
requiring
some-
all of our volunteers to be vaccinated and all of everyone in attendance to wear masks. There will be sanitizing stations throughout, as well as trash receptacles just to minimize any debris. And we have added that to our volunteer sign up genius so we can make sure that people are adequately covering those shifts. It is an event that's open to our community, and we have printed flyers and we'll begin distribution of those this week. We have multiple arts and craft tables that will be complimentary for people to do. We do have activities that will require purchase of tickets. Tickets are $1 per ticket. There will be 4 different types of inflatable-esque rides. There's a bouncy castle that's well ventilated. All of our others are open air. There's a maze. There's a double slide. So we've really tried to gear all of our activities across the 7 grades that make up YCS, and to appeal to more age groups in the community and families.
Thank you.
So let me,
I have a question.
Yes,
Are
please.
you finished, Michelle?
no, I was going to follow up, Wilma, but I can wait for you if you'd like.
No, I just wanted to ask one thing. You
Yes.
said you might have a cake sale, and I was interested if you when you do purchase cakes or get the cakes,
It's
how do you get them? Can they be from the areas around our district? I mean our community area, CB8 area.
we would love if any bakery or establishment wanted to donate for us to be able to sell to the community at $1 a pop. But our bake sales traditionally have been our parents baking and
okay.
donating what they bake so that we can raise money for our PTA that way, as we would do for election days that you may be aware of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to just follow up on the baking because I was going to say, yes, my recollection is that it's basically the parent body, the PTA, whoever that does the baking. However, in the past, the individual baked product was not always individually wrapped.
It is a requirement.
This year, everything should be individually, carefully wrapped. And the same with whatever you're going to be doing at the arts and crafts tables, because the bulk of your population, the children, I mean, are unvaccinated. This group is under 12.
Mhm.
So while they're a low contagion group, you know, there they are. So I think you have to be very, very careful. The arts and crafts table really needs to be where if you're doing something with sticks or cutouts, that if that child, or a pair of scissors, if that child has touched it, then it remains with that child, that the stuff doesn't get passed around. I think you've got to be really very, very careful with that. These times, as you well know, are different. And to be sure that anything that's being offered for food and intake be individually wrapped.
Correct.
So in terms of the bouncy, has the organizer who's bringing the slide, will he be periodically washing it down? It's only for 3 hours and it'll be outdoors. Of more concern is the inside bouncy castle. I'm not so sure you want to do that this year, but I don't know how committed you are. But, you know, do they have the ability to wipe down and to sanitize?
I will follow up on that. I believe they do. They've been operating at schools all throughout the city all summer long, and for multiple festivals that have happened. They're a reputable brand and reputable company, and we do have their insurance as well. But I will follow up regarding that specifically. It was a consideration when we were selecting our items that they were open air and for as few, you know, 2 at a time, kind of along their own pathways. But we do know that the bouncy castle is the only area that we had fit more than one child in.
Right. My
Um,
last comment, if I may, my last comment is it's Halloween. You're having it on Halloween. And in the past, you've had a costume parade. Are you going to be
We
doing
will.
that? Yeah, because
We will.
that's outside, that's safe. The kids are bringing their own costumes
And their
in
masks.
the open air, and they have their masks. So that's a safe thing to do and would be welcome this year. So thank you. You have my support.
Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that.
Do we move to approve?
Second,
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time today. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
I want to say I'm an old PTA, a very old PTA president, and I'm amazed by the work that you do. And I remember how hard it was. So
Oh, thank you so much. It's been wonderful. It's a great group of people pulling together to do this.
All right, thank you.
Great.
Next, Barbara. The next
Yes.
one, please.
The next one is the annual Park Avenue tree lighting, which is a full street closure for Park Avenue between East 91st and East 92nd Street. And it will be on December 5th, which is a Sunday, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Do we have somebody?
From a meeting?
Yes, hi.
And a representative for that.
Great, thank you.
Hi,
Can you
good afternoon.
just tell us a little bit about the event?
Yes. To start, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So, sorry.
Of course, it always calls when you're,
Okay, so the event is from the Brick Church and the Fun of Park Avenue. It's a tree lighting, or we call it Spirit of the Tree Lighting, which is a traditional event that has been taking place since 1945, right after World War II. And we've come many years to request practically the same details of the event, which is just a carol singing and choir singing, and we play taps in memory of our armed forces, and especially the soldiers who have been lost in battle. And along with a reverend here at the church, just doing a prayer, a general prayer. Everybody's invited from the community. It's not limiting your religion or your faith or your belief, or just your presence there is what we're looking for. So
Thank you.
yeah, it's a Christmas carol singing event. And beyond that, we also have the Knickerbockers there who join us, and the Boy Scouts who as well hand out flyers. So yeah, it's a gathering of the community.
Okay.
any questions from the community?
We don't have any raised hands.
Okay, I'm going to ask a couple of
I'm gonna-
questions.
Of course.
The application said it would be on the sidewalk, but also the curb. Is it affecting traffic at all, or parking or anything like that?
So yes, in the past, we've gathered around 4,000 people. So the whole block normally gets closed up for about
On
2
the
hours.
sidewalk, on the sidewalk and the
So
street?
we at least the presentations or the choir singing is all in the steps of the church.
Okay,
We don't invade the sidewalk. Yes, we take part of the sidewalk for live streaming and camera, and as well as we have a small tent with just the sound group, the company that's doing sound. Beyond that, it's just the barricades, and then normally it's just the amount of people in the past has been great. So they do extend all throughout Park Avenue. And for safety reasons, we have requested to close out both the street and the sidewalk.
I don't understand the street from reading the application. It said basically the curb. Will it be the
Yes.
whole west side of the, the whole west side of Park Avenue, or just one lane, or?
Correct.
I can
that's
chime in
correct.
there actually, Barbara.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a full street
Yeah.
closure, but it was entered incorrectly in the system. So I spoke with Kathy at SAPO, and she's going to make the change.
That it's going to be,
Is it
so the
A
whole,
full street closure.
Full
Yeah.
street closure.
Barbara, in the past, traditionally, what it's been is Park Avenue is closed on both sides of the street,
Okay,
the northbound and the southbound. There are police barriers and there are police. And even though the church is at 92nd Street, the closure usually starts maybe at 90th. Or a little
91st,
further,
I think it's-
91st, and goes north to 93rd or
Correct, yeah.
94th, right? Because it does gather a lot of people, and they're not just passing through; they're actually stopping because they're singing. So.
Right.
You know, so it is pretty crowded, but you know, the neighborhood loves it. It's an old tradition.
Right.
And it, of course, then the trees, all the Park Avenue Mall trees then get lit up. So it's a very bright and festive occasion. And there's no food or anything like that. So it's not invasive or a dirty event, you know, where there's trash or anything like that. So the police, you know, maintain the security. And over the past however many years, in my experience, it's always been a lovely occasion.
That's great. I just, should the application change? The application says it's being closed from 91st to 92nd. Is that true, or is it more?
It's true, and it goes beyond. It goes beyond. The maybe going to 90th to 93rd, but the main event is 91st to 92nd Street.
That's correct.
And you know, and but the whole thing is closed off. The whole street is closed off. That area.
Does somebody want to? And no other questions, I assume?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Great. And I vote for it, so I guess it's unanimous also.
Yes,
Okay.
Definitely.
All right,
Unanimous.
good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So I guess that's it. Any new business, old
Do
business,
you have any new Okay, go ahead, Barbara.
new business or old business that anybody wants to talk about? Thank you.
I'll move to adjourn.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Michelle.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Great,
Second.
everybody. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Ed and Will.
Okay.